Okay, take two. So my last conversation was on the 16th of December 2025. Today, right now, is the 8th of February 2026. So what's been the updates? I've successfully passed my driving theory test on the 15th of January 2026. I failed my first attempt, which was on January the 9th. I was supposed to move on and proceed to the next goal of getting my laboring slash construction job. I simply couldn't let time go by knowing I continued with a fail as my first attempt in achieving my goals in 2026. It's okay to fail as long as failure is not the only thing you got out of the situation. I wanted to win. I wanted to continue this January 2026 journey by doing more important things that had to be accomplished, but I had to do it with wins on my records. Simply put, I didn't study enough for long enough, so I missed the score by 3 marks. I studied intensely for 4 hours before the test and failed. That was on me. While I had the will to win, I still didn't really learn my lesson after. I still didn't really learn my lesson. After the fail, I booked another test immediately and got it for the 15th of January. That was 2026. Procrastinated for many days, even though I knew I should have been revising, and then boom, it was the night before the test again. No revision had been done. Luckily, I done my test not too long ago, the first one, and I still had the memory still in there. So I'd done 10 hours again of straight revision, as in like literally the night before, up until the exact time of the test. Three different energy drinks in my system and straight willpower. I went to the center and passed the test, getting 3 marks over the minimum passing mark. Never give up, fail once, try again. So that would have been on the 5th, this 16th or 15th of January 2026. The following week, I knew it was time to get a job. It was Monday, 19th of January 2026. For context, the UK job market right now is abysmal. I've heard stories of people not being able to get jobs for over 6 months, but that couldn't be my portion. My life is in my hands, and I have complete control and total personal agency. Shout out to Analyzing Finance with Nick. Analyzing Finance with Nick. So I used a list of agencies from a content creator named Mizzy who had been through this before. I sent her a message. And some other ones I had found, agencies for labouring, I had found, and in total collected 45 different agencies based in London that provide labouring jobs. I called every single fucking one of them, one by fucking one, and told them I need a job tomorrow and I'm completely available. Again, this was on the 19th of January 2026. I knew that it was time to put serious effort on the long term portions of my goal, which, as mentioned, was joining a program about sales, which is about $5,000 or 3,800 UK pounds. And at this point, 19th of January, I only had £103 77 pence. So I knew one, I needed this job, and two, I needed it immediately. So the conclusion was that I would simply have to get a labouring job for tomorrow, which would have been the 20th of January 2026, within the next 45 calls. So that was what I would need to accomplish, and that was what was going to happen. Like I was going to will it to existence, and that's what I would do. I've done it before when I needed an office space, and I knew I could do it again. Will things into existence. And so for the next 3 to 4 long hours, I endured constant rejection from different agencies saying there were simply no jobs at this time of the year, that it was too early. I found an agency that said they had just short-term job for 2 days, but that's it. The old me would have accepted that with quickness to end the pain of rejection and just have something that seems like a win. But I'm not the old me, and I know that there was better opportunities. So I had to keep dialing. By the 43rd call, that was 43 out of 45, I finally got an agency which told me they had ongoing jobs and that I could start immediately the next day. 43 calls. Times I could have given up before, but I just kept dialing. So the next day came, the 20th of January. That was my birthday. I've officially turned 24 years old, and I went to my first day of work, or what was supposed to be. It turns out on my journey to the location that they notified the agency I was no longer needed, but I didn't get the message until I was already in the front door. until I was already at their front door in the pouring rain of an early morning on my birthday. When I got the message, I had to take the journey back home. As I took the journey back home, I felt bad for a bit, but only for a bit, maybe 2 to 7 minutes. I knew I didn't really have the luxury of feeling bad for myself, so I immediately tried looking for other labouring jobs. And whilst I didn't find something at first, the same company ended up reaching out to me again, apologized for the mix up, and put me onto another job for the same location the exact following day. That would be the 21st of January. That was a 1 day job, and I still needed more work. So I reached out again the next day, so again on the 21st of January, saying I'm ready to work immediately and they should put me wherever, like they should put me with whatever they find. So they immediately got me something for the next day again. At this point, I understood the lesson. Hold on, sorry. At this point, I understood the lesson. Closed mouths don't get fed, and idle soldiers don't get the spoils of war. I was rewarded every time for not just wanting the thing, but going above the Call of Duty Modern Warfare to acquire the thing, the job in this case. Every failure was simply met with more persistence. Anyways, this brings me to my most intense week I've had this week. On the 8th of February 2026, which is a Sunday, so I'm talking about the weekend directly, and I'm at the end of the week now. This week, I am in a new site, which I started mid last week, but this was my first full week there. Within this 1 week, I've had to, one, had to let go had to let go of someone who's been there for me in my hardest of times, my ex, because it was something that had to be done simply for the fact that at this point in each of our journeys, we both agreed it was best to separate our friendship. Number two, I had to have hard conversations with my closest friend about the types of conversations that I will and will not be entertaining from him anymore, and how we will both have to be moving from this point onwards about being serious about our lives. Number three, having serious conversations to myself about things that I have been doing, and if they are not beneficial, then haven't I let them go? And number four, let go of someone else different, someone who I deeply care for. I had to get rid of from my life because the truth is, as much good as she has brought in, she has also brought a good amount of bad. If I'm becoming a better version of myself, would that version accept that type of person in my life, knowing how much pain she's caused me over the years? The answer is no, because to keep her in it would be a continuous pattern of me not respecting myself, and I would no longer be doing that anymore. Context: num- number four is a separate person to number one. It's not my ex. Different situation. Anyways, as for the job on this new site, I've carried things that no one man should carry by themselves. My muscles have ached where I thought my body didn't have muscles. I've seen almost two different fights, almost got into a fight myself, got a mad sickness, and through it all, I'm still here. Because while the start to mid of the week was absolute shit, day after day of new problems after new problems, by the end of the week, I was actually pretty happy because I realized the only way to get through this is by removing these problems ASAP and keeping it stepping. I done all these things I stated earlier. Oh, I done all these things that I stated earlier one by one. The removing of this, having the conversation of this, blah blah blah. One by one, removing problems, and shit got better. Because sometimes to improve stuff, it's about deletion, not addition, or subtraction, not addition. There have been positives as well. My body's gotten significantly stronger, obviously due to the job. Weights that I've found heavier in the gym have become significantly easier. I've been exercising more consistently, masturbating significantly less. So all in all, I'm on track for my goals and have made great improvements, to be honest. I was just looking at it all wrong. No, to be honest, I was just looking at the whole thing wrong. This is a story that I'm crafting for myself. So all these hardships I'm enduring right now, I will likely be laughing at them in the future, like I've done for previous hardships. So if I'm gonna laugh at them in the future, I may as well enjoy the hardship now. Also, I've met quite a few like funny different characters in the job and should enjoy it while I'm still here. The next thing is to stack up my bread, my money. from this job and join the community to move into my next goals. I originally had two communities in mind. Both were 5,000 US dollars, one with a $1,667 upfront cost. That's option one. And option two was a $3,500 upfront cost. First, I was just going to do option two. No, at first I was just going to do option one, um, especially when the Monday of this week happened. This was because I felt extremely stressful and I felt like I needed an out quickly. So I said, fuck it, I'll just go with the cheapest upfront cost. But when Monday, like that same Monday, I'm talking about Monday of this week, when I just felt so stressed. When I came home, from that Monday, I spoke to myself and was honest with the hard conversation I had to have for myself. The reason I wanted to do the first option because I felt the job was too hard, and to do the long term and to do the long term, I thought the job was too hard to do the long term one, which is option two. So I'll just do the easy option, the option which required the least amount of pain. Again, option one. I was running from the pain, even though I knew option two was a better option for my immediate goals, but would require a larger short term sacrifice and pain. I was running away from the pain, and I couldn't accept that. I couldn't accept that I was running away from the pain. So I sat with myself and made myself a vow that I would continue in this location for a minimum of a whole month without leaving. I would not quit or leave this location, this site I'm in currently, unless I was directly fired, which I almost thought I would be on Tuesday because of an argument I had with one of my colleagues. And I kept it pushing, I kept it jugging. So, anyways, that's the update now, and that's why I got this jacket on, and we'll see what the next update is whenever it comes. But yeah, I'm on track with my goals, and that's a good thing.